Here's what most people don't see about me. The fire in me wasn't fueled by applause. I was driven by vision. I knew what I was building even if no one did. And I was willing to look like a fool for a while even if it meant proving them wrong later. It wasn't an easy choice, but now 11 years later I can tell my younger self, you did a great job. Imagine if I have chosen a safer route. For sure I would have a steady, stable, comfortable life. But at what cost? I remember telling myself when I was younger that someday, if I were to become the elder in the family, I would promise that on my deathbed, I would never say the phrases, I should have, or what if I have. At that time, I hadn't realized that that simple choice would lead me to where I am now, talking to you over some stable internet connection. And I don't know where you are now or what you're doing at this moment, but deep down in my heart, all I wish for you is that you will find that one treasure, that one thing that you cannot ever let go of. Here's my point. Imagine 30, 40, 50 years from now. Time passes by, and sooner or later you'll become the elder in the family. You won't spend, or you wouldn't like to spend the rest of the days or years resenting yourself for having not done the very things that your heart and soul called you to do. You wouldn't want to tell yourself that at the very last second of your life here on earth, 1,000 what ifs. You wouldn't want to punish yourself and wish a miserable life in your late 80s or 90s, or if you're lucky, you reach 100 years old and you become a centennial person. Although not all of us can achieve 100 years, but it's still up to you how you would want to choose the days, the years that will come ahead of you. It's still up to you how you want to spend the rest of the time. Whether you choose to be happy or to be sad, it's all up to you. Suppose you have 100 years here on earth. Out of all the options that you have right in your hands, you choose to be miserable. And most of us will choose to be miserable because everyone's miserable, right? So why do we want to wish a happier, lighter life when everyone's sad, miserable? It makes you feel guilty to be smiling, happy, and joyful when everyone's drowning with problems as if they own the world's problems. So, because of that choice, we choose to intend to forget what's really going on in our reality and choose to retreat in our own caves. So, like, it's a choice that we made to retreat in our caves and spend the rest of the day scrolling through our cell phones, social media, your PC, or maybe you love to drink and you just love to drink and just get high or whatever you do just to forget the good old memories or any memory that will pop out in your head because you're afraid to control them, to confront them. You're afraid to tell yourself, I shouldn't have done that, I should have done that, or maybe what if I have done that, what if I haven't done that, or maybe on the flip side, maybe it's about your parents, maybe you're afraid to tell yourself your father shouldn't have said that, or your mother should have been more supportive, and you don't want to deal with these emotions that coming out. So if you're this person right now, I know it hurts. Welcoming the truth is like giving me your consent to stab your palm with a sword. And I know by doing that it hurts a lot. But you don't have to do anything right now except acknowledge the mistakes. Acknowledge the mistakes that you've made in the past. You don't have to berate yourself, and just understand that by making or just by accepting, acknowledging the mistake, you're slowly paving the way to developing your truth and accept the truth of what happened. Based on your experiences in life, you develop and mold your own beliefs and your own principles based on what worked for you and what not. Not because they were taught by your parents, but because they were taught in church or something like that. That alone is already the first step to your way to entering the journey of shadow work, because you want to be completely honest with yourself. You want to be objective. You want to be your own psychiatrist. You want to be your own therapist. And by doing that, you can't lie. You cannot heal your wounds with lies. And like me, I'm a Scorpio moon. The fact that I have Scorpio moon, to heal is to reveal. But if what I've revealed are all lies, then what kind of healing will I get? Right? Why is this very important? Why is this process so important for you, for me, for all of us? Learning how to deal with this trauma and all of that through shadow work. Because by doing shadow work, you're confronting your past with facts, the memories that you have, confronting the feelings and thoughts that come up, relieving the pain, and you're trying to amend or to make amends with your past selves through the fingers of your present self. If that makes sense to you, slowly, the more you're doing this, the more you recognize patterns, like segments of yourself that is somewhere along the lines of your thick, I call it the thick blob, the thick blob of trauma, the thick blob of trauma. Yeah, so, and because of this thick blob of trauma, you're kind of blinded by the truth, your truth. And by doing shadow work and confronting the fears as honest as you can, you are now developing, seeing segments of yourself. And by slowly collecting these segments of yourself, you're slowly developing the construct of who you truly are. Because you will feel like, okay, in this situation, you feel violated, you feel okay, you don't like this, you like this, how do you really feel, how do you really think about this, all that stuff. And by standing with the truth that you developed after, let's say, months, years of doing this, you slowly develop your own truth, and you start to stand by that truth no matter what. And you start to live and integrate that truth in your daily life. And once you integrate the truth in your daily life, it becomes you. And that's you before trauma, before any societal definitions acquired over the years, and by that time you don't want that truth be stained again with, like mediocrity, and you're telling yourself that you're not good enough and whatever, like all the BS that you hear over the years. And you don't want to stain that again after, like collecting segments, like pieces of yourself, like a jar, and then you're gluing them together, and you offer the jar again to the same people who destroyed you, who caused you harm, just because, why? Because you love them. And you don't want to tell yourself that you're not good enough again. You don't want to tell yourself that you're not beautiful, that you have nothing to show. Because, out of all the failures you can make in this lifetime, there's only one that you don't want to fail. You don't want to fail yourself. Out of all the failures you can make here on earth, you don't want to fail yourself. And this isn't the kind of ending you want to have in your life, right? And because I know there's more inside you, there's more that's hiding beneath your skin, and there's more than what people don't see. And I know there's more than just what I see. And you're far more capable. You're far more capable and powerful than you could imagine. Your dreams or visions for yourself won't be there inside your head, screaming at you, whispering at you sometimes during lunch breaks and recess, if they weren't meant for you. These dreams and visions are meant for you, and they're not really just there just because you dream of them. They were there for a reason. And with that note, what can you do? What can we do? So what can you do to amend things between yourself and others? First, like I said, acknowledge the mistakes. Acknowledge that you have made errors in the past and you want to amend, and you have to be sincerely forgiving towards yourself, your past selves. You don't want to berate yourself because you've been spending years of berating yourself and listening to the lies of your mind. And this time you want to listen to your heart and soul this time. And with that, you don't want to listen to what others, which is the second advice or second tip. Aside from first acknowledging the mistakes, your mistakes, second, you don't want to listen to what others say. Okay? So I want to clarify that. I don't want you to think that you don't have to listen to others and really just put them off and be rigid with your own ideas. That's not what I was trying to say. What I'm trying to point out is that you don't have to listen to what others say about your ideas firsthand. If they find it good, okay. If they find it bad, okay. So you've developed that sense of detachment, and that's kind of freeing you or giving you some, how should I say, like a spring, a suspension of the car that gives you some suspension to keep you from hitting your butt and the impact of the concrete. You know what I mean? So by doing that, you're allowing some space within, because you're now shutting off the opinions of others to allow yourself to be heard, acknowledged, and respected for the very first time in your life. So even if it means to be disliked, hated, ostracized by your own people, or even by strangers who only know a speck of you. And for me, as someone who has lived years against the grain and years of being underestimated and being looked down upon, I could say that I got used to the feeling of being underestimated. I got used to the feeling of being just a nobody, and to the point I just decided to throw myself away, because I really believe that I don't have anything to show. So that's why what I've been telling you in the last couple of minutes are the favorite things that I have experienced and learned, and the techniques and the strategies that I'll be telling you or that I've been telling you, like these tips, these are the very things that I have done with myself over the last couple of years. And now that I'm saying that I ignore others to allow myself to be heard, acknowledged, and respected, this is also the same principle that I've been applying with myself. But that doesn't mean that I am not listening to my husband, for example, or to my sister, to my father, to my mother. What I'm saying is I'm weighing what they're saying. I'm giving them the right to freely express their opinions, but I also have to understand that that's just their opinion. I don't have to people please them. I don't have to react to everything that they say thinking that, like I have this fear of being judged. I have this fear of being disliked and, being the bad guy, be the bad girl in the group, and the perfect daughter syndrome. And because of that perfect daughter syndrome, it's kind of hard for me to just be you. And I mean, for me, that's really the cost of choosing self over others. So here's what I learned after years of journaling my pain. So if you start to step out of your comfort zone, stretch, grow, or dare to believe in something bigger than you will start to notice how their love might shrink back in fear and turn their evil eyes on you. As if love was meant to manipulate you into doing things to exhaustion. It's as if love were never meant to be shown. It's as if love was meant to be said 1,000 times, not some impressionistic BS to win your achy heart. It's as if romance were conditional and love were finite. And although it hurts to accept that, but the thing is, that's not on you, that's on them. So I also have to understand that with myself, like that's not on them. Like their feelings, their reactions towards my decisions is not on me. That's their decision, it's their reaction, not mine. And I should control, I should control my thoughts in a way where I should just focus on the things that I can control, not the things I cannot control. So things that I can control, like my reaction, my thoughts, my feelings, my, like if I'm angry, what can I do? Should I just walk out? Should I just drink water and just go to the arcade and drive somewhere or whatever? Or if I scream back at her, punch her face and slap her face, or should I just drag her to court or whatever? So you have options. You have a lot of future selves to choose from, and it's up for the present self, your present self, to choose which way to go. So when saying that, you must understand that their emotions are not your responsibility. Again, that's outside your comfort zone, and I mean your control zone. So you have your comfort zone, you have your control zone. So you like to extend your comfort zone, but you don't want to extend your control zone. It's too much effort. So what you can control, you want to minimize the control on others, and you don't want to exert too much control within yourself. You just enough, like gravity, not too much to pull us deeper to the earth, not too less where we will just fly over the space. It's just enough for the living organisms to walk upon the earth, or for the birds to fly, just enough for the clouds to float up in the skies, balance. So again, how they feel about you or your new you, and by bringing out the new you, it brings, of course, the radical decisions that you're bringing to the table, and that for sure will bring some surprise to them. And that's where you encounter your control zone, where would you control the situation, or would you just control your reaction? Again, it's none of your business. Your business is yourself. Your business is yourself, but that doesn't mean you exclude yourself from any form of accountability. So if you say like you truly harmed someone, you say sorry and make amends, for sure, but not, let's say you did something and you said something, and your energy is so pumped up that it shrinks other people, and then you kind of feel like you have to shrink too because you feel like I have to match their energy. That's not the point of this. I mean, you're just dimming your light for others, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, is this the kind of control zone you want to build? No, right? For sure, it challenges your comfort zone, because now you're deciding more with the higher self, and people will be shocked at what they hear from you, okay? And now you feel disliked. You're feeling their eyes on you. So what would you do now? Would you say go back to your old self again, or would you embrace your future self, who's waiting for you to finally say yes to the offer and finally meet me at the train station? You know what I'm saying? So just because you found because you found your confidence, it doesn't mean that you have to shrink it back to where it was just because people's confidence are not at the same level as yours. You don't have to shut your mouth up when necessary, and you don't have to just shut your mouth just to avoid standing up for yourself and feeling sorry for those who have harmed you, instead of comforting yourself for being the victim of the situation. And even if you feel like the victim of the situation, it doesn't give you the reason to shrink back to where you were, or to say that it was your fault all the time, and just because of fear of dragging this situation to court, fear of escalating these things, although you know the truth, and settling things straight, it means like some kind of war. You want to set things straight, you want to win against evil, you want to win against the truth and all that. And this comes with fear against authority, like your parents, teachers, adults in your life. And authority could even mean your spouse, the ones who earns more income in the household, the ones who brings more money in the household, or the one who provides in the family. Anyone can be patriarchal, and any patriarchal the yang energy, like the patriarchal energy, that's where we are right now. Like, we base our attention, affection, emotions, and care to people depending on how much they can bring to the table. We forgot that it's not just about how much they bring to the table, it's about how their presence make you feel. It's also how you can make a lot of money, you can be a millionaire, but if as soon as you enter the room and say, hey, welcome home, you bring your family's energy down. right? Or even if you don't have money, but as soon as you go home, your children runs towards you and welcomes you and say, "Hi dad, hi papa," or "Hi mama, how are you, how's your day?" Wouldn't it be nice? You see the difference, right? And if you're the person who belongs to story A, where you have a lot of money, you have everything you need, you have fine, nice things in life, you're born with silver spoon and fork, golden spoon and fork, and you have everything that you need, hot wife and nice cars, but you don't feel like you have the golden treasure because of whatever, you don't feel happy at home. And now that you realize what's actually happening, and even if you're not rich, like even if you're just an average person listening to this episode who wants to change the narrative, it's time to open your eyes and ask yourself the truth that you don't want to see and hear. The very truth that you don't want to see, the very truth that you don't want to hear, even if it's from you, from others. Maybe others would say, this is what I've noticed about you, blah blah, and then you kind of deny, no, it's not true. Or maybe other persons will say, or maybe someone you trusted opens up and tells you, hey, I noticed that you've been out lately, or you've just been so withdrawn lately, what's going on? Instead of accepting the truth that that's what's actually going on, because that's what they actually see, instead of saying, oh really, and then be truthful answering it, because this is the person, the question came from the person you trusted, right? But instead of telling the truth, you're just saying, oh, I'm good, I'm fine, everything's fine, while your heart is breaking apart. And here's from me, I've been through all that, and I'll be lying to you if I say that I'm recovered and I'm fully, I'm fully okay, and saying like, oh, I've completely moved on from all the traumas that I've endured and overcame. I will be lying to you if I say that yes, because that's not, and that's not the very reason why I started this journey with you, because I want to heal with you. And by speaking this, it's helping me heal too as well. Redundancy. Oh, for the English majors. Anyway, here's from me. You deserve better than this. You deserve better life. You deserve a better husband. You deserve a better spouse, wife. You deserve a better family. You deserve a better home. You deserve to achieve your dreams, because again, your dreams or visions will not be with you in your night times and your daydreams if they're not meant for you to achieve. It's only up to you if you're up for the challenge to finally listen to it, or you still kind of shrug it off and you're, yeah, what's up yo. You just kind of shrug it off and then just it's some childish BS. I still have a lot of good things going on. I still have my career and all, so but in the end, after all what you've achieved, after all what you've achieved in life, after what you have accomplished, your career, nice cars, nice life, and nice family, perfect family, in the end, after all this, you still want to be treated right. You still want to be the person who deserves to be treated right, to be loved and be loved. It's time for you to free yourself from the chains, from the bondage, from the cage that you've built for yourself to protect yourself from the predators. So you're this little bird who built on how should I say, a cage of a cage out of iron or steel, and locked yourself inside because you fear yourself. This is the most like the formidable fortress you can hide against the predators, the eagles and hawks who are preying on you. Like you're this little bird and you're so defenseless against these big birds. So now that the big birds are gone, the cage is safe in the living room, and you have your own owner. You have this he even unlocked the cage for you because he wants to feed you. He even placed some seeds and scattered some seeds on the table or nearby so you can just reach it and all. But you still chose to stay in the cage, thinking that the hawks and eagles are still there, ready to hunt you. And this is the chain that you've been holding, that's been holding you back. And it could be any chain. It could be a chain from your marriage, chain from attachments, vices, abuses, traumas. Lots of chains could be around you, and it's up to you to spend the time to find the keys and unlock yourself. Free yourself. It's time to free yourself from this chain that it's really hard. It's time for you to free yourself from this chain that you've been carrying almost your life, and for a very, very long time. It's time for you to free yourself and breathe deeply and tell yourself you've overcome this and you deserve better than this.